Welcome to the Garth Riley Show. Good to have you with us. On today's show, we're going to be talking about an innovative idea that really it's about time that it's come around. You know, me, I always like to talk about products that are making a difference in the community and helping enhance the lives of others and bringing you something you may have never heard of before. And I'm quite sure what I'm about to show you today, the Onward elevator system, you've never seen before. Now, before I introduce the founder of the company to you, I want to tell you a little story about why I think this is important. You see, today, as the society ages more and more people have disabilities, or I guess rather saying an ability challenge, well, most people want to try and stay in their home. But the problem is they maybe want to go now to a bungalow because they can't do the stairs, or maybe that the grandparents or the more senior people of the family are now living with the younger family, and how is that all going to work? And there's 2 floors, and how do you transport one from the other? And for those people that have a walker or a wheelchair, or just a regular mobility issue, trying to get up the stairs, what are their choices? Well, I know what their choices have been until now. One is that not to go upstairs and live in the dining room, or number 2 is they put one of those elevators as lifts that sit on the side of the stairs and roll up. The problem is with that is that you need a walker at the bottom and a walker at the top, and then if there's a landing, there's a transfer problem. And now, as a person who has a disability myself, I'm really sensitive to how all these things work. And then what about the able-bodied people that are in the house? Yeah, the ones now have to sort of make room for this thing that's coming down the stairs. So quite frankly, there had to be another solution. And you know what? It's here. Gord Macdonald created this product called the Onward elevator system. First, I'm going to introduce you to Gord, and then we're going to take a look at some pictures to see how it works. Gord, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, guys.
What, were you bored one day?
Bored?
Like, when you thought of this?
No, challenged.
Yeah,
challenged. I had a friend who had to get upstairs and just couldn't bum it up the stairs anymore. So looked at the situation, looked at products on the market, and tried to assimilate that into the home. Didn't work. So I have to get from here. I have to end up there. Here's how you do it. And
so what you did was, and we'll take a look at this right now, so we can sort of describe what we're seeing. We're going to go to full screen on this right now. And what you're seeing is you have this basically a carriage that's sitting on the main floor. Yep. In the picture, we're just doing a stopgap pictures. And then there's basically this big flagpole, looks like, right? And as the person gets in, they start to load this, they load onto it, and then they hit a button, a trigger switch, right?
Yep.
And it starts to move itself up to wherever the next landing position is, right?
Yes.
But what's unique about this is that it actually will turn and to park itself or land in a position that could be several degrees off of where they started on the main floor.
Yeah, exactly. Most often the space available on the second floor is not in line with the space on the main floor. That would put it in a hallway, and it can't just stay in a hallway. So you need to get it out of that space.
Right.
So the turn becomes an obvious solution.
This can be installed in any home, anywhere, pretty much.
Essentially, yes.
Whether it's inside or maybe even on outside, where there's a window on the main floor or a door on the main floor, and the second floor could be like a little bit of an alcove could be built.
Turned into doors and put in an alcove on the outside of the building.
And or down to the basement. How many? And so pretty much it can go anywhere.
You can.
Anything like it on the market, or am I mistaken?
I'm told that there isn't anything else like this in the world today.
Talked to an elevator guy yesterday. He said to me, nothing that has been built that turns. And he's in the abilities market. He said they've seen something like this, but nothing that turns and is able to park, whether it's 5 degrees off or 33 degrees off. Anyways, we're going to go to break, and we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about the technical aspect of how this is all done. Okay? Stay with us as the Garth Riley Show continues right after this. Welcome back to the Garth Riley Show. We're talking with Gord Macdonald, who is the founder and creator of this unique device called the Onward elevator. So well done, Gordon. Some of the questions people are going to have is more of a technical nature now, because people are wondering, how it gets in there. This is kind of innovative. I remember being with you at a trade show, people saying, how does it stop at the top? Of course, we didn't have it fixed at the top there, but you had it there.
Yeah.
Anyways, tell me a little bit about the installation of this product. What's required?
The installation is, I'm hoping, simple. Is designed to be simple. The pole is in 2 parts, carriage and the upper gate. So 4 parts create the entire product. when the upper gate is established, the upper gate, where it ends, where it has to, that's usually the mandatory fixed point. And once a railing is cut out, that established, or a mezzanine created and that upper gate established, one can then determine where the lower mount point is and the ceiling mount point. At that time, the flanges are mounted on both. The pole is carried in, stood up. The upper pole is carried up or hoisted up in place. The two are joined, and the carriage bolted to it.
When you say
Plug
hope,
it in,
when you
all
say
done.
you hope it's going to be easy, I mean, it's just a question of sometimes accessibility in the home. I mean, all the parts are there. You know, getting the pieces in is sometimes a bit of a concern, and that's why I guess you have to be careful about where you sell it to, because maybe, you know, some window has to be open in order to bring the pole in, etc. That's what you mean by hoping, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Now, some people are going to try and go, let's say, from the basement, you know, down to, or from the main floor to the basement.
Yeah.
Similar idea. They just have to have a fixed. They have to have a fixed point, though. That the top of the pole has to be able to be mounted to a fixed surface.
Yes,
and
it
the
is.
lower pole has to be done that way.
Yep.
So in case it's sort of a midway between, you know, the third floor and the basement, would the pole then mount in the basement floor and then go right up to the second floor roof ceiling part?
It can be,
or first floor roof ceiling?
It can be mounted off on a bracket.
Okay.
Just as long as it's made stable, because it's that mount that creates the stability to
the turning.
Withstand the rotation.
Right. Now this is kind of unique because people are asking about, you know, so does it rotate quickly? The answer is I've seen it in operation.
No, it doesn't. It's designed to turn 180 degrees in 30 seconds, which is the same time that it takes to rise 10 feet.
Okay.
30 seconds. So it is designed to rotate as it rises, or it can be programmed to rotate any amount of that at any time as it rises, if it has to come up first.
Yeah, so I was at my brother-in-law's place, and I was watching something. I looked at his house after, you know, seeing your product. I'm like, okay, so this would actually, you would load on here, it would come up, then it would turn about, you know, a foot or two.
Mm-hmm.
Then it would go up because of some other structure. His would have to turn a little more, then go straight up, and then finally park on the landing. But that's all programmable, right?
That's all programmable.
In the case of a power outage, you know, where someone now the power goes out and they're in the mid ride, what happens then?
I can't take it back up with no power, but I can bring it down. The rotation motor and all of the electronics in the elevator are low voltage, and on battery backup, they can all come back down.
So it won't be able to have enough power to carry it, but have enough power to steer it back to the bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the installation time, is that you quote sometimes as quick as 4 hours? It
can be 4 hours, assuming that there's a mezzanine and the electric wire is already in place. It can be as easy as 4 hours.
The electric wire has to be run a separate circuit, so this is on a separate circuit. And what kind of wattage, or sorry, what kind of voltage do we need?
220, 15 amp, go to the attic.
So just, and that's a dedicated line?
Dedicated service.
Okay. I guess that's really about it, honestly. When you think about it, this is quite phenomenal. Now, oh, you know what? Actually, one other question. I saw you had a couple different models. One is that you could have one that's wide enough for a full-fledged wheelchair, electric wheelchair. There's another kind you have that is a little smaller, that it can actually, the carriage it is just for the walker kind. So can people scale it?
Yeah, 3 standard widths and lengths of carriage, all of them interchangeable. If your needs change in time, you can just order the replacement carriage. It bolts on, same 2 bolts, and yes, if it has to mount out from the wall, move the pole. It's 4 screws, top and bottom, and that easy. Should you have to move, you can take your elevator with you.
That's pretty cool, to be able to take it with you, because a lot of people, once they're put in, they're customized for that landing or whatever else. In this case, it's the way you go.
It's adaptable after the fact.
Cool. Well, in fact, it's quite entertaining for your grandkids. They get to ride up and down.
I've done it. Push the button and leave them there.
Hey, listen, I think what you got here is really great. Any house, any time, really, any space, you can do that. even if someone had to open up 2 closet spaces from the main floor to the upper floor, open up one, cut a hole in the floor, and let it roll up that way.
Yeah.
Amazing work, amazing work. Well, I wish you the best of luck with it, and I know that you are in the smaller levels of production right now, hoping to expand to the bigger levels, and maybe this technical background, make people feel a little more safer about doing it. It looks absolutely like a stunning product.
Great, thank you, Garth.
You're welcome. Thanks for being part of the show. Well, that's it for the Garth Riley Show, bringing you some more new and innovative ideas as we find them. So stay with us. We're sure to have a show about something else very soon.